All right. So again, if you could tell me who you are or your alias and what it is that you do.
My YouTube name is called BananaPeelz, and I make League of Legends videos that are music sings.
Right.
And
Okay. So, uh, the idea for coming up with these videos, where did you get that idea?
I always thought that sync videos are like cool, and I used to make similar videos in the past, and I just decided to start making such videos for League of Legends as well, and it was relatively successful.
Right. So to clarify, like your videos are you take a pre-existing song or whatever, and then you use the like mostly like champion noises and noises in the game, and you sync it up with those videos.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. So you said you'd done similar things for games before League. What games and like what other stuff had you done?
Uh, I've done a lot of shooters,
Mm,
and yeah, that's about the sync videos, I think.
right. Okay.
I've, I've done also leak syncs, but they never went viral.
Okay. So, you've been making these sync videos for like 6 months now, I think.
I don't know.
I'm pretty
I think
sure.
so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first one, or like the first video that's available on your channel right now is 6 months old. Um, but how long have you actually been making these sort of things, like with the pre-existing games and stuff? Like how many years?
Well, I've been making videos ever since 2012, which is like,
2 years ago.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
almost 3, yeah. And I've been making sync videos like almost for 3 years as well.
Okay. All right. Um, so given, I guess your like since you started making these videos for League of Legends, and I guess did you post them on the subreddit?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Okay. But then that's where you got most of your viewing. That's where you got your exposure.
Uh, Partially, there were other stuff as well, but
Okay.
yeah, Reddit was a big part of the whole thing.
Right. So, how long have you been playing League, or do you even play League?
I used to be a big player. I've been playing ever since season 2. I don't remember when that was though.
Season two was nearly 3 years ago now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big player now though, because I don't have that much time, but I used to play a lot.
Okay. How active would you say you are in the community?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, besides posting videos and creating the videos, do you follow the professional scene? Do you participate in discussions on Reddit? Things like that.
Yeah, definitely. I look at Reddit almost on a daily basis, and I actually like how the whole website functions
Hmm.
with the vaults and the whole page thing, because you can see uh, the best out of Reddit, and yeah, and I also mm, I also communicate with a lot of my YouTube fans. I read all the comments and I reply to all the questions and stuff.
Okay. So given like that you are fairly involved in the community and you pay attention and you keep up with things, um, what is your general impression on the, I guess, mostly the subreddit community, because that's where I think a lot of people tend to focus the idea of the community on. But even just like with your YouTube fans and stuff like that, what is your impression of that sort of community?
I think that the Reddit community is very active.
Hmm.
Everyone seems to participate a lot in the comment section and also votes and downvotes all the posts. And everyone seems to be very honest. I don't know why, but they're more honest than the YouTube community.
Okay. What do you mean by honest? Like, uh, Because when I think of the Reddit community being honest, I think of them, uh, being honest in a non-constructive sort of way, where
Yeah,
like the blaming, this is what's wrong, this is what needs to be fixed, we know what's right, period. This what isn't what needs to be done. Would you agree with that?
yeah, it is kind of like not kind, but it is still an honest opinion, and it's showing me what I need to improve and how to improve it. And I do take all, even the hateful comments, I take them into consideration because they're eventually also criticism, and yeah.
Right. Okay. So, even though uh, it can be a little, I mean, I guess. Okay. Well, here's a question: Is was posting that first video to the subreddit, or just posting that first video, period, uh, was it intimidating? Were you afraid of some sort of lashback from the community, which I'm not going to say we're not known to have done.
Yes, definitely, and there was such an effect. At least my first two videos, they never really got um, the correct uh, attention.
Hmm. But those two
But
videos weren't syncs, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but after that things changed, and
Right.
there are still like a lot of people that just comment on negative stuff without any argumentation, just hateful comments,
Yeah.
and that's a normal thing, even on YouTube. That there are people who do that. It,
Yeah.
it can't be avoided.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So focusing, I guess, a little bit more on, well, I guess it can apply to your community too, um, like the community surrounding your videos. Given that I mean, the subreddit has nearly 600,000 subscribers, and I would, probably wager that there's hundreds of thousands more who just don't have an account or who aren't subscribed that are there. Um, do you feel like, as a community, we could be doing more uh, constructive things, all whether it be for each other, for Riot, building the professional scene, helping League become a better place, and also like focusing our time and effort and energy into helping other people, like these charity streams that happened a few times last year and stuff like that.
Definitely, but I think that that's all. That all those stuff are already happening. When I look at the the hot page, like 50% of the posts are things that are related to improving League or something related to it, and yeah, people pay attention to all this stuff, and even Riot, I noticed that they also pay attention to what people want,
Hmm.
and this is potentially like improving the game, improving the community, everything.
Okay. Um, so okay, there. I won't argue that we aren't doing a lot to improve things, but I feel like a lot of the times it's not. I don't know what the right word is. I guess focused. Like you look at the hot page, right? And some weeks it's all right, some weeks it's not. But most of it's, or occasionally you get postings saying, okay, these bug fixes and stuff like these are the problems with League. And then you go into the comments, and it's not always this way, but it seems like I said before, the idea isn't. People don't have this idea that they can be constructively critical, and instead they just be critical. Uh, like, is there a way to improve, or do you think we could improve upon that?
I don't think that there's any way to improve that because that's basically what people think. Yeah, the only thing that this can be improved is to remove all the hateful comments, but that won't happen because there's someone who needs to watch all these comments and like
Yeah.
decide if they're constructive criticism or if they're just hateful comments. That can be avoided. It's just a normal part of the community.
Okay. Why? I mean, I guess, yeah. Why do you think that it is just this normal part? Why is it that we can just accept that as being part of what it is?
Because that's what society is generally all about. There are people who are just haters, and there are people who are not. I mean, you can't have a perfect society. It's just a random combination of people from all around the world, and that this can't be controlled. There are people who will always be negatively
Okay.
opposed. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, I would say that it's mostly because, like, the people that have those opinions tend to be a lot more vocal, and the people with, I guess, a little bit more passive personalities are maybe not so inclined to comment and say anything about it. Uh, but yeah, that's just, the way it is, I guess. Um, so given that, in the past 6 months you've seen a moderate amount of success, I think most of your videos have over 100,000 views on them. Um, what kind of plans do you have for what you're going to do?
Ooh, that's a very good question. Well, I'm definitely going to continue making music scenes because at least for now people seem to like enjoy them, and that's a major goal to make people entertained watching these videos. And as long as they like them, I'm gonna make them. I am planning to start new series, but yeah, that's not certain yet, so I, I shouldn't talk about it.
Okay. Uh, so, like, any plans to, you know, I mean, okay, here's a better question. Like, in the, I guess, the League YouTube community, which is, fairly large in itself, uh, how do you feel the interactions between the YouTubers, the content creators is? Is it, cooperative? Are you all willing to help one another? Or, yeah.
Definitely, we have a Skype discussion with all the major league YouTubers, except for the most famous ones,
Right.
and we are very supportive for each other. We are commenting, suggesting stuff for each other, collaborating, explaining stuff how stuff works. For example, um, Calbo and Expos, they've helped me a lot, and I didn't even know them before. We just met through YouTube, and we became friends, and that's with almost everyone. There's like 50 people in this chat,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, and we all support each other.
Hmm.
It,
All right. So would you say that, in general, the community, YouTube community, Reddit community, whatever, is a positive thing?
Definitely, yeah. The YouTube community is supplying the audience with entertaining content. The audience is entertained, and everyone's happy.
Most people are happy. I'm not so sure that everyone is happy, but yeah. Um, okay. And so, like, it's, this positive force, and, we use it for, I mean, you guys create this content that we consume. Um, Essentially, like, you create this content for free, and we watch what you make, and you provide it to us, free of charge. Um, what is, hmm, like, the give and take there, right? You're providing us free content, and we're supporting you, through AdSense or Patreon, and all these, support. The streamers, they have donations, they have subscriptions. Um, so it's a really, one thing can't exist without the other, right? So how do you feel about that whole, like, it's essentially, all this cooperation in making people, we the viewers, make people successful. How does that, is that, like, scary for you?
Wait, I didn't get the question.
Okay.
Ah,
uh, okay, so you provide the content, and
yeah.
we, the viewers, support your content and, like, willingly choose to support you. So, with streamers, and YouTube videos, you guys get the AdSense revenue if you've got that, or with, the streamers also have subscriptions and stuff. Um, is it, is it, well, I know we already said that it was intimidating to post the first video, but is it scary to know that, one day or, any day, the viewers could just decide that, they don't want to see what you're making anymore, and that you then have nothing to offer?
Yeah, well, it is scary. I'm not that much into YouTube so far. I mean, I'm pretty new. I'm
Hmm.
5 or 6 months old.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, it's all about the audience. If they like it, they're gonna watch it. If they don't, they won't. And there's little I can do about that. It's mostly about having something different as content. And this is decided upon the audience. They decide if it's good enough, if it's different enough. I can't do anything about it. And yeah, it's kind of scary, but
Okay.
as long as they're happy,
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna
like,
be
I
perfectly.
mean, I'd say you fill a pretty niche market, right? I don't know about any other, at least League YouTube creators that do the same sort of videos that you do.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think that's partially why I was relatively successful so far.
Right. Okay. Um, so I'm just going to, well, do you make, like, this isn't your full-time thing, right?
No,
Okay. So what do you, if you're willing to talk about it or just, say, what do you do outside of YouTube?
I'm a first year fresher at university.
Okay. What are you studying?
I'm studying accounting and finance.
Huh. Okay. And so this, like, YouTube was just a hobby. You had an idea, you decided that you could do it, and you did it.
Yeah, yeah, it's still a hobby. The revenue I get from YouTube is it's just so small because of the uh, low video length. So it's not about the money; it's more about the entertainment.
Right.
And yeah, it's just a hobby.
Okay.
It's not a job.
All right. Uh, so, how long do you think you're going to keep doing this?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have no idea.
Because, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, you hear a lot of YouTubers, or, some YouTubers talk about how, uh, especially the ones that it's actually their job, uh, they're afraid that if the viewers stop watching, then they're out of a job, and, they don't have this content to create. So, and also, like, they don't know how long you can sustain this sort of thing, right? Like, how long are people actually going to be willing to pay attention to you? So, in, I mean, I've had this conversation a lot with my friends recently. How long do you think League is going to last? Like, how much life do you think it has in it?
That's also a very good question. I mean, for me and all the league content creators, this is like a very important thing. If league dies, we all die because our content is just so heavily dependent on League of Legends.
Yeah.
For now at least, I think that league is still growing. So there's at least in the near future, it's certain that league won't die. And it's still like a very unique game. We all know that there's also Dota and other mobile games, but this is like arguably the best one.
Hmm.
And there is still future because it's a growing audience.
Right.
Nobody knows when it's gonna die, but yeah, we're all scared that they might come.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, what, the community now, we've got several million people playing the game. I mean, I look at it and I see, we probably got another 3 years of growth before we really, really peak. And then we kind of see where it goes from there. Like, you look at games like StarCraft and stuff that have just started dying out. Um, and so, like you said, that's probably really, especially the people that depend on this as their income, it's kind of an intimidating thing to know that, you it could fall off. But, given the content that you are currently creating, it's not as though you couldn't a transition to a different game or something. Like you said, you'd already done a different game or different games.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But I would rather not think about it yet.
Fair, yeah, that's fair enough. Um, okay. Well, I'll ask this, and then I might have a few more questions. But do you pay attention to, or like, do you follow the professional scene,
What do you mean?
like the league professional scene? Do you watch the LCS? Do you follow that sort of thing?
Um, Sort of. I'm not a diehard fan of LCS, but I watch some games. Yeah.
Okay. Um, do you like? I'll just since you're not super into it. Do you have an opinion on it? Like, what's your opinion on it?
Uh, what do you mean?
Well, like, do you think it's a good thing? Like,
Yeah, it's like the major tournament thing about League. I
right,
mean,
but I
lots.
mean, creating this. Okay, so League in itself is already a pretty competitive game, and then we have these professional players that we put on this pedestal, and people essentially aspiring to be like these professional players. Um, and I think, like personally, I think the LCS is a really great thing, and trying to build a esports scene in the West is a really good idea. But I've seen people say that it might not be 100% positive, and it's creating a lot of I like sort of creating pressure on players to try and live up to the expects or these professional players. And do you think aspiring to be like these professional players is a good thing in general for the community?
I think the benefits are bigger than the negative effects because yeah, people get inspired. This is partially why lots of people keep playing this game. They see like a cool move someone does, and they try to imitate the same move in their own games, and they try to be as good as them. So this is like part of the reason why they continue playing. And yeah, there will be people who are trying to like be the same as them, and
Like essentially like the back in what was I think it was last year. Like people would see Voyboy go top lane Katarina and just roll with it, but then they go into solo queue and they try and do the same thing and they just get stomped, right? You've got those sort of effects on as far as
yeah, well,
negatives are concerned.
yeah. Well, some people think that that's trolling and stuff, but in my opinion, just brings a different view on League. There are more opportunities. You don't have to be classical and
Right.
just pick a classical top laner. You can do whatever you want,
Mhm.
and it's all supposed to be fun. So
Yeah. In the end, it is all just a game, right?
yep,
Okay. Well, those are all the questions I have.
sweet.
Right. So I just really like to thank you for doing this with me. Uh, it was a very big help and relieved a lot of stress.
Uh,
um, yeah.
can I ask you? Are you which year are you in university?
I'm in first year for my program right now, but I am technically like how long have I been out of high school? I've been out of high school for 3 years. This will be my fourth year out. I took a year off. I went to one university and to do a history major, but that didn't really uh, work out with me. So now I'm here doing this,
What are you studying?
journalism.
Oh, okay, that
Yeah.
explains it.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I helped and
Yeah,
everything.
very much so.
I yeah, it's kind of late here, so I'm not that adequate, but I tried my
Yeah.
best.
It's all right. You did very well.
Anytime, if you need anything again, I can try my best to help you.
All right. Well, I will let you know if I need anything. But otherwise, thank you very much. And yeah,
All right, have a nice day.
you too.
Bye.